Hello everyone and welcome to another video. If you joined me yesterday, you'll remember that we opened the Europe maps and had really quite a successful game, I thought, especially in the last two rounds with some amazing guesses. So I'm hoping to repeat that success today, and without further ado, let's start the game. Okay, well, we're lucky that we've started by some signs, so we should be able to do okay. We are in Denmark. I recognize the names of these places. Esbjerg is here in the west. Aarhus is there in the northeast-ish. So we're on the E20, E45. Yes, so the E20 would take one to Esbjerg, the E45 to Aarhus, up to the northeast. Okay, so are we possibly on the E45 south? We're currently heading northwest. Let's join it and see what happens. This, I think, is a big roundabout, maybe? Yep. Okay. Let's see what these signs say here. Oh, come on. Be careful. I don't seem to be able to get much closer to these. This'll do. Esbjerg on the E20. Odense and Aarhus on the E20. So I'm trying to work out the convention here used. E20 is in a ring and then E45 in a dash. I guess that means you take the E45 first and then the E20. But then the next sign is both the E20 and the E45. So look, the E20 goes all the way east-west. So actually these roads are so huge that the signs aren't necessarily helping me. And then the other exits are for the 20V. E20V. So I think that'll be west and south. So look, perhaps we're somewhere around here, at this sort of intersection of these three roads. Although I'm not sure. Kolding, yeah. So the hospital in Kolding is here. Should have spotted that, frankly, ages ago. So we're at a main road, sort of near there. I'm going to put us there. No, there. Hopefully that's okay. Oh, I shouldn't have moved it. Damn it. Oh dear. Okay, well, we did start there. We found it in the end, at the sort of the last minute, I'm afraid. And frustratingly, my original guess was where this flag was, and I moved it for no reason at the last second. So, oh well, we got there. That's nearly 5,000 points, so that's okay. Bit frustrating, but okay. Let's see where we are here. This looks okay. A little rundown, maybe. Renault, so we're possibly en France. And that, I can't read. Uwaga. Not sure about that. What do we have here? I cannot make out those flags, I'm afraid, which is a bit frustrating. And here, Virginia. So look, don't recognise the writing at the moment. We seem to be in a petrol station. So this looks Polish to me. But it doesn't really help us with where we want to, with finding out where we are exactly. So I think we've just established that we're in Poland. I can't actually go anywhere here. That's frustrating. I don't want to go into the petrol station. Let's try back this way. Orthodontica. So some dentistry service. Pabayin, sorry, Pabianica. Pabianica. Is that a town? I don't know. Pabianica. There's some more signs up here, so let's try and see what we can see. Okay, so Warsaw Center is up ahead, and then to the right is Sierdas. So let's go to Warsaw. So look, I think we're on the outskirts of Warsaw because it says Warsaw Centrum underneath it, and that is down the 14. So we're just looking for the 14. Kind of very funny lettering they use there. 14 in this red, with these red squares. Or possibly, oh, where are we? Come on. Hang on, I'm losing myself. What am I doing? Come on, focus. Right. The same road takes us to Gdansk. This is very last minute all of a sudden. I've lost track of the time. And Sierdas, which I can't see. I'm just going to put a pin down just to have a guess. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but I completely had a brain freeze. The 14 I never found. I see it now, obviously. It comes sort of in, it doesn't come into Warsaw, which is why I was freezing. And I was getting very confused with the ordering of the towns there. So the center, I was speaking nonsense. The center must have been for this town, Lodz. And, just the nearby cities were then above that. And then Sierdas is here in the other direction. So I got a bit confused there. Oh well. Sort of ended up okay, just through sheer luck, frankly, more than judgment. I was thinking we were around Warsaw, and so put a pin down there, and we weren't far away. Anyway, enough excuses. Let's move on. Load, please. Okay, well, this looks like Venice to me, so we can go straight to the city and put a pin down somewhere in the middle as a safety pin. Right, now the question is, how on earth do you figure out where you are in Venice? Because it is a maze. So we're going to have to try and navigate. So let's head east. This looks like it could be a major canal, and we can't go east, so let's go west. Okay, and we can't go west. So look, we're going to have to try and deduce as much as possible. Ahead of us looks like, we're approaching a T-junction, but the canal is larger maybe than the one we're on, but it's not, frankly, big enough to be the Grand Canal, which is really the only thing I would have to navigate myself around Venice. So we can just look at some of these buildings. So this is a church. So perhaps we can try this one. Nope, that's obviously not that one. That's the biggest church in all of Venice. And, we could exhaust this list quite quickly. I feel like we're maybe over in the west side of the city, just because there's more sort of tiny canals here, really, than anything else. We're certainly not near any public squares. There's lots of little bridges here. There's both a path on our side and on the far side, but the one on the far side doesn't continue up the canal. The canal that we're on goes east-west, so possibly it's one of these. And I'm just going to try and exhaust this while I have time on the clock. That's my basic plan. If anything, it goes kind of northwestish. But these look too big. These Rios are too big. Look, I'm going to put a pin here. It's in the middle of the city. That's my logic. It might be in one of those, but we're not near the Grand Canal, so no. Look, we were on the far side of it. We were actually up here. So yes, unless you knew Venice intimately, I think that would be quite hard, especially with not being able to move around. But regardless, it's such a small place that we weren't far away at all. Anyway, I'll try and move a bit quicker with those deductions in the future in order to not waste 3 of your precious minutes. Okay, let's move on down here. Right, and we're instantly on to quite a main street. The alphabet is sort of is Cyrillic, so, you know, we could be in Russia. That would look the most likely. There are some absolutely ginormous mountains in the distance. Huge. That just tower above the city. So, you know, goodness, where's that? That means we're not in St. Petersburg. It means we're not in Moscow, really? This doesn't look like Moscow. Let's just try going down here and seeing what we see. Do it the old-fashioned way. There's a big sort of viaduct in the city, storm drain or whatever. Some English language around as well, which is a bit unusual, certainly for Russia. It'd be nice to try and find something that's just confirms what country we're in before we get much further. REI brand. Look, you know, my guess would be that it's Russian, but some things are giving me cause for concern. .bg. Belarus. Bulgaria? What? Oh, yep. Okay, so possibly Bulgaria. Hadn't considered that one. But there we are. That's saved me as that. Huge mountains. So look, we're not on the east coast. We're not in Varna. You know, I'm guessing we're in Plovdiv, or maybe Sofia. This is interesting all of a sudden. Very interesting. There's a drain here, the Vladia River. Not a drain. Sorry, that's quite an insult. That could be it. That could be the Vladia River. Let's go down here and just see if there was a roundabout. If there is... Oh. I'm going to go back to that sign. That's all I've got. Plovdiv. That could mean the road to Plovdiv. Ah! I think we're in Sofia. And we were... and I didn't get to move my pin in time. Oh, I messed up. I really messed up then. Ignore the pin because it's not even in the town. I went to Plovdiv because I saw it on the sign before I realised that obviously the sign was directing us in the direction of Plovdiv. And I saw this river that I talked about earlier. I called it a drain rather inappropriately. And I saw it and we were on it. And actually this was the roundabout I was looking for. I mentioned it sort of just so hastily that perhaps it didn't make sense at the time, but I saw that roundabout existed, and so we'd come up to the river and we were going down here, and perhaps it would have been the next one that we came to, and I realized that too little too late, and I'd already rather stupidly moved my pin over to near Plovdiv. So oh well, you live and you learn. Bit frustrated with that one, real shame. These mountains around here look absolutely stunning, so certainly Bulgaria, I'd love to go and visit one day. I've heard the coast is nice too. So next round, let's try and rectify that in the last round. So we're on a huge road here. This definitely isn't the UK. We don't have these kinds of mega roads. Speed limits in Ks. And German cars, so possibly German. I'm going to go back up the road to this sign, and this will hopefully help us out. I seem to go a fair distance past signs at the moment. So Rem, okay, so this is we're in France, possibly. We're in France, and we're heading towards Rem, although if I remember correctly, it's not too far from the German border, so we could be there as well. So the cathedral there is very famous in the city centre. And then if we carry on, we get to Lille and Paris. So Paris is here, west, and where is Lille? And Lille is north. So, we're approaching from the south, and I guess our compass would confirm that. We can also exit here to Epernay, which is here in the south, and Réam Saint-Remy, which, I don't know. So, and that sign says E46. So look, I think we're on one of these main roads, possibly the A4 here, approaching Réam from the south, heading sort of northeastish. Let's just carry on and see what happens in a second. So there's a big junction here, sort of a spaghetti junction, 4 ways, with 2 roads perpendicular crossing over each other. Yeah, and you can pull off here and go left to Épinay. Sorry, you can pull off here and go west to Épinay and, east to Luxembourg. So I think we're somewhere around this A4 junction. Where would that be? Once again, the clock has just ticked by. Must be this N44. But we have no signs for Charlton-Champierre. So not sure about that. And we were way closer in Rem than I thought. So what a waste of time. Looking further south. We could have easily pulled off here and gone into the town and found out, which we didn't do. So lesson learned there, need to get moving, frankly, a bit more. Once I've pinned down enough to find out the country, and approximate location, need to get in there and find more clues because, something didn't feel right. I'm sure you could sense I was stuttering towards the end there and actually becoming less confident by the minute, not more confident. In those scenarios, it's good to press on into the town and gather more clues while you can. But that's why I have the time limit really to keep moving and frankly to ensure that it doesn't overrun. So look, we were close. 4,553 points there and under 40k away from the location. Look, I think that this overall has been a high scoring game again. Better than the last time, in fact. Maybe not quite the level of freak guesses that we had, but they are not something that you can orchestrate. We got 21,794 points, which is great, and earned another 51 Geo coins. And on the whole, I think we did pretty well. Bulgaria, we could have improved on. Poland we could have also improved on, and France we could have improved on too, I think, a lot. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with all that, given that this is a high scoring game unto itself, and I feel like there's room for improvement. So, who knew Europe turns out to be quite successful at the moment. Thank you very much for playing with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.